sector profitability analysis. Starting with Barakah Offshore shows extreme volatility. Although profitability was very strong in 2021 and shows close to 100% in 2022, it collapsed to just 2.9% in 2023, indicating unstable and unsustainable earnings. In contrast, Hibiscus Petroleum experienced gradual decline, but its margin remained positive and consistent throughout the period, reflecting more stable operation and reliable profitability overall. Next, for the gross profit margin, Barakah Offshore increased from 27% in 2021 to 40% in 2022, but then dropped to 80.9% in 2023, again showing sensitivity to cost and revenue changes. Hibiscus Petroleum rose from 62% in 2021 to a peak of 71.7% in 2022 and slightly declined to 65.1% in 2023, demonstrating stronger cost control and pricing power. Next, I will continue with further financial reporting. Barakah Offshore shows high risk in its financial reporting with extreme swings in profit and aggressive depreciation, which may indicate earnings manipulation. In contrast, Hibiscus Petroleum has stable, consistent ratios and transparent reporting, showing reliable earnings. Overall, Barakah Offshore carries higher financial risk, while Hibiscus Petroleum demonstrates stronger, more trustworthy earning quality. Now, let's examine the depreciation rate of property, plant, and equipment. Barakah Offshore hit 8% in 2021 and jumped dramatically to 133% in 2022 and fell to 37% in 2023, showing highly volatile asset usage. Hibiscus Petroleum, on the other hand, recorded 28% in 2021, dropped to 15% in 2022, and slightly rose to 24% in 2023, reflecting a more stable pattern. Overall, Barakah Offshore assets utilization is unpredictable, whereas Hibiscus demonstrates steadier and more controlled asset management.
For this slide, let's look at the current ratio, which measures a company's ability to pay short-term debt. Based on the graph, for Barakah Offshore, the ratio stayed below 1.0 across all 3 years. It started at a very weak, which is 0.47 in 2021, but improved again to 0.86 in 2022. Unfortunately, decreased again to 0.63 in 2023. This shows ongoing liquidity struggles and difficulty meeting short-term obligations. On the other hand, Hibiscus Petroleum began strong at 1.39 in 2021 but decreased to 0.91 in 2022 and increased dramatically to 1.49 in 2023. This reflects a healthier financial position compared to Barakah Offshore. Overall, Barakah Offshore shows unstable short-term strength while Hibiscus Petroleum reflects consistent liquidity and healthier financial management. Next, for asset test ratio, which tells us how well a company can pay short-term debts using its most liquidity assets. Based on the graph, Barakah Offshore stayed below 1.0 across all 3 years, starting at 0.47 in 2021, increased to 0.86 in 2022, then dropped to 0.63 to 2023. This reflects unstable short-term liquidity. For Hibiscus Petroleum, it started strong at 1.25 in 2021, dropped to 0.80 in 2022, and rises again to 1.32 in 2023, maintaining solid quick ratios in 2021 and 2023. Overall, Barakah Offshore continues to show limited short-term flexibility, while Hibiscus Petroleum demonstrates stronger control over liquid asset and coverage in 2023. Next, looking at the receivable to sales ratio, it shows how much of the company's revenue is still unpaid. Barakah Offshore started at 0.38 in 2021, increased slightly to 0.41 in 2022, then dropped to 0.17 in 2023. This shows better receivable control. Hibiscus Petroleum began lower at 0.14 in 2021, increased to 0.24 in 2022, and decreased again to 0.18 in 2023. Overall, Barakah Offshore shows stronger improvement in receivable management, while Hibiscus Petroleum maintains stable and efficient collection performance. For sudden changes in liquidity, Barakah Offshore records low current and asset test ratio. This shows a weak short-term strength and heavy reliance on receivable. Meanwhile, Hibiscus Petroleum maintains stronger liquidity and more efficient collections. Overall, this highlights how Barakah Offshore faces financial pressure and higher risk, while Hibiscus Petroleum reflects stability and healthier management.
Next, I will discuss the solvency ratio, which consists of the debt ratio and equity ratio. For the debt ratio, Barakah Offshore, a PN17 company, recorded a debt ratio above 100% from 2021 to 2023, indicating that liabilities exceed assets and reflecting severe financial distress. Although the ratio declined in 2022, it decreased again in 2023, showing an unstable capital structure. In contrast, Hibiscus Petroleum maintained a debt ratio below 65% throughout the period, indicating strong solvency and effective debt management as a result. Barakah Offshore is more vulnerable to liquidity and bankruptcy risk, while Hibiscus Petroleum shows a healthier financial position. For the equity ratio, Barakah Offshore recorded negative equity ratio across all 3 years, indicating negative shareholders' equity and continued financial distress. Despite a slight improvement in 2022, the ratio maintained negative in 2023. Meanwhile, Hibiscus Petroleum maintained positive equity ratio from 2021 to 2023, reflecting a stronger and more stable capital structure with lower financial risk. For the accrual ratio, Barakah Offshore showed high and volatile values, particularly in 2022, suggesting poor earning quality and weak cash flow support. In contrast, Hibiscus Petroleum recorded low and stable accrual ratio, indicating that its earnings are supported by operating cash flows and have a lower risk of earning manipulation. Based on this ratio, Barakah Offshore's high debt, negative equity, and volatile accruals indicate financial pressure and abnormal accruals, which increase in the incentive for earnings management or aggressive financial reporting. In contrast, Hibiscus Petroleum's stable solvency and low accruals ratio suggest higher earnings quality and a lower risk of earning manipulation. In conclusion, the financial ratio analysis shows clear differences between the two companies. Barakah Offshore demonstrates weaker profitability, liquidity, and solvency with higher financial risk and signs of earning management. In contrast, Hibiscus Petroleum shows stronger profitability, healthier liquidity, and more stable financial performance, indicating better financial management and lower risk. So that's all from us. Thank you.